everything. And it's unfathomable that any being from any planetary system would do such destructive things because it affects everyone, including them. And so it's just completely unconscious and foolish. So foolish is an understatement, truthfully, of what they've done and what we're trying to restore now. It's a massive project, massive. So so again, the centurions are specifically, you would, if you saw them in the human world, many of them will be environmentalists. That's the kind of work that they're involved in doing. They're very involved in environmental projects. They're very involved in making sure that the water stays clean and keeping the earth healthy and keeping chemicals out of the dirt. And those are the types of beings that are centurions. Now, that doesn't mean that every centurion is an environmentalist or vice versa, but it is kind of the work that they are specifically focused on. That's the type of beings that they are. That's what they're called to do. That's part of their calling and part of the reason that they came into this earth plane. They're also sometimes involved in politics because, and I know that that can be very messy because politics is like going into a den of vipers, literally. And so a lot of starseeds won't want to do that, but some do for the sake of the planet. And so not every single person that works in politics is a negative being. There are some good ones out there, and that's the reason that they go into that, as excruciatingly painful as a light worker as it is to be involved in political environments. It's also quite necessary, especially at this time, because that is the only way that we're going to turn things around. The fallen angelics and the false light community want to see humanity, and they are pushing this in the new cage community to see the collapse of the world and to see everything collapse. And the collapse itself will be terrible for everybody. It's really not the way. We have reached a state of evolution, and we need to take that evolution and continue turning it into good and in a positive direction, as opposed to crashing everything to the ground and destroying everything, including our political systems. Our political systems were designed in a beautiful way, but they were hijacked. And the same thing with religious institutions. They were a beautiful and very natural design to have religious institutions, but they were hijacked. And the teachings were hijacked. And so the issue isn't to destroy all of those things. The issue is to correct and teach the truth and weave the truth, light weavers architecture of light, back into, and now we're going back into the DNA and the correction of DNA of beings, because it is part of your DNA is being hijacked and damaged through those systems, because they are teaching fallen angelic teachings in your governments, in your religions, in your schools, in everywhere around you, especially the television. And so again, that's kind of a major aspect of the centurions, is more kind of around the earth itself, but it's because the earth's grids themselves assist in the restoration of your DNA as well. Again, it's all connected. There's different beings that are called to different specific aspects of work, but it's all a big job, and it's going to take all of us. So what they're doing is they're running frequency into the earth. Many light workers are all around the planet. Some are running the wrong frequency because, well, they're infected by fallen angelics and demonic entities. And so they're running frequency in the earth that's distorted and corrupted. And this is why we talk about being very careful about who you're working with, because if they're running the wrong frequency, it's going to infect your DNA, and it's going to cause corruption and more manipulation in your DNA while you're trying to go in the ascension path. It's very dangerous. So unfortunately, we're dealing with a lot of that in the world. And that's why there's so much of a push-pull around censorship. There's certain reasons why certain things we would wish that they were censored, because it's very damaging. And yet we understand that everybody are free will souls, and so we have to honor the free will of all beings, even when they are running the wrong frequencies through that are damaging the whole entire collective. It's quite a big process that we're in right now. Being that I was in the session with that brought in this other, this whole other thing that they showed us.